Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm a good GU Don't equal Gijenda. President of Eva, Joe! That's the night, what is up with Joe? I think I'm going to make you water, man. Come here. Who want to know cryptocurrency? Online marketing. Who want to know? Who want to know online marketing? VPN. Get free money from government. Who want that? Well, who want to know crypto? Say yes. I give you free money. Free money. I give you. No. How to get crypto free? How to get crypto? Crypto.
it works, we need to talk about the transaction process, and we also need to go over something called the blockchain. Blockchain itself could be a very confusing topic, but the easiest way to explain this is that it's just a database. As you take a look onto your screen, this is normally how a transaction occurs with Bitcoin. First, a new transaction is entered, then the transaction is transmitted to a network of peer-to-peer computers scattered across the world. These are the people who are going to be mining this type of data so that Bitcoin transaction can go through. Next, the network of computers then solves equations to confirm the validity of the transaction. Once confirmed to be legitimate transactions, they are clustered together into blocks. These blocks are then chained together, creating a long history of all transactions that are permanent, and then the transaction is complete. So if you've ever wondered how the term blockchain came about, this is exactly why. Now, one of the most fascinating things about the blockchain is that it is a public ledger as well. So this means you can actually access all of the data and see some pretty interesting information, all the way up to the transactions that people are having on a day-to-day basis. Right here, someone bought $22.38 worth of Bitcoin. Someone bought $27.26 worth of Bitcoin. You'll see these monster transactions every now and then. We are some pretty small shrimp in the game, but you got to realize that's how crazy something like this is. People are trading and transferring Bitcoins in the hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day, if not every single hour. So hopefully right there, that gave you a better idea on how Bitcoin itself works and how the blockchain operates. Now, to pretty much glue everything together, what I'm going to do is actually transfer my own money of $5,000 into Bitcoin and show you exactly what the process of that is. Now, if you're still watching this video because you're trying to figure out exactly how to get free Bitcoin, let me share with you now what that is. So there are a ton of different companies out here that have created platforms in order to trade cryptocurrency. Many of these companies are going to want you to start banking with them because odds are if you deposit your first $10, $20 with that specific platform, chances are you're going to be using them for the duration of your cryptocurrency investing time. So many of these companies are going to offer you some type of incentive to sign up. Coinbase will give you $10 if you want to use the link down below in the description. Crypto.com is going to give you $25 for signing up. What I recommend you to do is actually sign up for both. There are times when a platform will go down. This doesn't just happen in the cryptocurrency world, but it also has happened on the stock market with Robinhood. You don't want to be in a situation where there are some crazy things happening in the market. You either want to enter, take your money out, but you can't because the server or the app itself is down. Make sure you have at least 2 platforms that you can use just in case that happens. And if you guys wanted to apply for it through the App Store without using any special link, you're not going to get that free welcome bonus associated with it. So with Coinbase, you can get free crypto using the link down below in the description. Literally just by signing up, you're going to get free $10. Crypto.com, you're also going to be getting free crypto. Whatever crypto you get paid out in, you can transfer that automatically into Bitcoin. And there, right there, you have Bitcoin. Pretty awesome. So for this video, I'm going to be using Coinbase in Google Chrome on my computer in order to show you how I put money into crypto and how this all works. All right, so right now I'm in my Coinbase account. We have $3,969 in here, and I'm going to load it up with $5,000, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin with that right now. So at the time of this recording, Bitcoin is currently at $36,070. I am buying at an all-time high price. It may not be the best time to enter the market, but if you're holding this for at least a couple years, it doesn't matter when you go in. Just at least have a position in case this rides up to $100,000. And future Brian, I'm going to place a bet right now. This time next year, Bitcoin, future Brian, $100,000. All right, so here is how this all works. In order for you to successfully buy Bitcoin today, you don't have to put 5 G's into the market. You could buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. You could buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, whatever you are most comfortable with. Coinbase is one of the most popular apps to trade on. They are secure. They have funding by investors from Silicon Valley. I've been using them for a very long time as well. And many other high-performing cryptocurrency traders use this platform, but they use the pro version. If you're kind of like a noob and you're getting into this, you don't have to worry about it too much. So let me show you what Coinbase Pro looks like. People who are trading crypto much more diligently will download something like Coinbase Pro. You do have to pay to use this, but with regular Coinbase, it's free to use. If you do sell something, there is that transaction fee that we mentioned earlier in this video. So here we are. You can buy crypto for one-time purchase. You can also do things where you can repeat it through different times of either the day, the week, or the month, or even every month. So if you want a dollar cost average, that's one of the features that you can use in order to continually purchase Bitcoin in order to build your investment portfolio. If I want to sell Bitcoin, I could do it right here. I currently have sold all the ones I had in this account prior to making this video. So it says I have $0 right now, but if I had even like $100 in Bitcoin, I could sell this and deposit it into my cash account. Another thing you can do is convert Bitcoin into another cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin to Ethereum for whatever reason. Maybe you think Ethereum is going to pop off more percentage wise and you want to make that jump. That is something that you can do as well. If I put 50, it'll convert it automatically. I can preview it and I would have to confirm it. I don't have enough right now, so it's going to give me that message. So let's buy Bitcoin right now, and let's do something else on top of that. Let's send the Bitcoin to another account that I have in order for you guys to see exactly how this works. Okay, so right here, I'm going to press 5,000. I got no bread in my Chime account, so we're going to use my other account here. We're going to preview the buy. It is definitely a pricey point, as you can see. I'm trying to buy $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. They did take a $73.41 fee. So that means I purchased $4,926 worth of Bitcoin at $36,162. It hurts a little. I'm not going to lie that the price is this high, but anything for my audience to get some value. So we'll just do this. We're going to click buy now. So it's interesting with the way Coinbase works. I did not use Plaid in order to connect my bank account. I did the manual thing where they send you 2 different transactions for pennies that they put into your account. Now, an official holder of Bitcoin of $5,000 for this Coinbase account. We can now see that my portfolio has jumped up from what it was before all the way to $8,874. Although Coinbase itself can be pretty secure, they have a feature where you can activate a new security key, something I've talked about in my identity theft video. Do that for everything that you own that allows you to. So what that means is you got to get a security key. I have an example of one right here. All you have to do is get this physical key and push the button after you decide to put your password in and you try to log in. This is an additional form of security. It's pretty much like factor authentication on your phone, except you physically have to push this button. So if a hacker gets all your information, they know your wallet address and they get into your Bitcoin. If they do not have this, they cannot officially log in. So this is something I highly recommend everyone to get just to make sure that this is safe. If you want to take an extra layer of precaution, this right here is something called cold storage. The Ledger Nano X is one of the most popular ways to secure your crypto. So imagine the security key on steroids. This pretty much allows you to secure your cryptocurrency off a platform. The reason why you want to do that is because there are a lot of hackers that know the value of what Bitcoin is worth, and they also know how anonymous a lot of this transaction is. So if someone hacks you and steals your Bitcoin, you're not going to get help from the FTC. You're not going to get help from your insurance company or any of these banks. Oftentimes, if you lose your Bitcoin and it gets hacked, it's gone for good. It's both the disadvantage and the advantage of using an anonymous peer-to-peer networking system like this. So here we are. I have the ledger in my hand right here. I'm going to have everything listed down below in the description for you guys to check out. But for this, all I have to do is plug it into my computer and make sure that I put in my passcode, that it's set up. I get my wallet address with this, which will also be provided via a QR code that you can scan to, or you just copy it and paste into your address. So I just plugged in my ledger. I have an 8-digit code that I need to put in. So on my ledger right here, I have, let me zoom this in a little. It says Bitcoin right here. I'm going to click both of these buttons, okay? And then it's going to say application is ready. I'm going to click both of that. So I open up my Ledger app here. I'm going to receive crypto. My Ledger is connected to my computer right now. Here's my Ledger. And here is the address for Bitcoin. So what I'm going to do next is to withdraw $1,000 of that crypto and send it into my cold storage. So I'm going to press 1,000 right here. I'm going to put in the address I got on my ledger. I'm going to press continue right here. And we're going to send now. So we can see that the payment received can take about 30 minutes. The network fee is taking $3. That is not too bad at all for $1,000 that I'm paying. The people who are mining this, meaning the ones that are getting the reward in order for this exchange to happen. Now, this right here is the scariest moment of cryptocurrency. It's not actually putting your money into Coinbase and buying Bitcoin at an all-time high. It's waiting for this money to show up in your actual cold storage or transfer it to where you intended, because now no one is middlemaning this transaction. And if you put one typo and you somehow accidentally send it to a guy in Russia, that money's gone. You're not going to do anything about it. So it says it takes usually less than 10 minutes. The past transfers I've done have happened almost instantly. So I'm back on my ledger right now, and we're going to see if this pops in. And there we go. We instantly got our money into our storage, and you can see it went from $23,000 up to $24,000 on here. And from here, I can also navigate my crypto. I can do what I want with it. But the best benefit of it is that it's off the platform, it's off the network, and it's something that is in my control. This ledger right here is absolutely dope. It's something that I highly recommend anyone who's trying to invest into crypto to set up. And plus, it's just cool. Like, I feel like I was Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 7 or something, man. Like, putting this in and doing the passcodes and writing things down and setting it up, it just felt cool. All right, so that is how you buy Bitcoin. You send it, you receive it, you keep it off the platform, and you do it in a safe manner. This is the full guide on what you need to know in order to invest into Bitcoin as a beginner for this year. Everything I said in this video is going to be evergreen, meaning what happened in 2021 is going to be
How's it going, guys? In this Finance Friday video, I'll show you how easily it is to buy and sell cryptocurrency or the numerous tokens available on Binance's app via the P2P method. This is going to be a simple, straightforward video showing you the step-by-step processes. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time now, but here it is, and we'll see how this works. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'd love it if you could hit that like button so more people can benefit from this knowledge that we'll be sharing. And when you hit that like button, you'll definitely be helping someone out. Without further ado, let's get to the video. So first off, Binance is available on the web and the mobile platforms. But for this tutorial, I'll show you how to go about it via the mobile app or the mobile platform. It's the same process as is on the web. And if you're newly downloading it, you'll be downloading one that has this logo and looks like this on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And guys, I won't make a video without something for you. So the first 100 people who sign up with my link in the description below to Binance, it's the first link in the description below, and make their first trades of at least $100 will get $5 just like that. $5 is 2,800 naira, almost 3,000 naira. It's free money. I know it's not much. Essentially, you're getting $5 for free when you download and sign up with my link and you make your $100 trade. And you can't get this anywhere else, so just do it. All right, so first off, what is a P2P trade? What does it even mean? The word P2P means peer-to-peer, and P2P in finance means the service is decentralized. Decentralized means that it's not central, or there is no power over the transaction, or there is no intermediary like banks. It's just you and the person interacting directly with each other. It simply means, again, that the buyer and the seller are transacting directly with each other. Where Binance now comes in here is that they give you a platform. So, that's the Binance platform to trade. And they don't just do that. They screen the people who are trading, they rank them, and they show you the highest or lowest ratings or positive and negative ratings or reviews. And they also provide an escrow service. Okay, what is an escrow service? What does an escrow service even mean? In simple terms, if I'm a buyer, if I want to buy a stable coin like BUSD, for instance, or I want to buy Bitcoin, I will simply put some money to the side and they will lock in my offer on that money somewhere. And they will then lock in the BUSD or Bitcoin of the person that I want to buy it from. on Binance. So they will essentially lock their money. So until the both of us come to an agreement, the fund will not be released. I won't pay and they won't pay me. So no one gets scammed until that agreement is reached. And it's done very, very securely, as we'll see in a bit. And I've been using Binance for the better part of this year. All right, let's get into the app. The first thing we're talking about is about how you can go about buying, and the next section will be about selling. And before we begin, I'd like to mention that this isn't like investment advice or anything. I made multiple videos on personal finance on this channel, and from our Finance Friday series, I've always mentioned investing a decent sized portion of your income that you won't be troubled by if it fluctuates. Anyway, let's get started. On the Binance app, you can see the current homepage here. On closer inspection, you can view all of the trading options. You can also see how much each currency pair is performing from BNB, BTC, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. And you can even see more when you scroll. Clicking on more shows you the P2P option. You also get the P2P trading option on the homepage as well. And it, of course, shows you the risk notice associated with P2P trading. Basically, Binance is believe anyone who claims they're a customer support or anyone that convinces you to release your crypto before you have received the payment. The instruction will appear clearly, and once you follow them, you will be fine. Trust me, it's super easy. It's basically like transferring money. After this video, you'll see. So this is the P2P page. Up top, I can see my currency, which is NGN or Nigerian Naira. And this is location based. So right now, I can only transfer to accounts that accept Nigerian Naira. And changing into other currencies would mean I can only trade with people that accept those other currencies. But I'll be using the NGN or Naira for this video, for this example in this video. So here is where you get to see each user and what mode of payment each of them are accepting here. They mostly accept bank transfers. You already know how to do bank transfers if you're watching this video, I'm sure. You can also see a name of a potential trader, how many trades they've done, and the percentage of positive feedback that they have. If you go left to right, you can see other tokens that you can as well trade. And if you want to trade quicker, you can go to the express option that Binance offers, whereby you get a random or a usually highly rated user who is online and you can trade quicker with instead of scrolling through a bunch of people or a long list and picking one person. So let's now make a trade. Let's make a buy trade now with the express option. I want to buy 50,000 Naira worth of USDT. And when I click buy, it shows that I will receive 88 USDT, or basically $88 at the rate of 567 Naira. I'll click confirm to proceed. As you can see here, the person I'm buying USDT from is a seller named Irag, and the person is verified. What is highlighted here is that Binance is holding the seller's cryptocurrency in the escrow accounts, and they have 24/7 customer service. Do you remember what I talked about regarding escrow? Well, this is it. So their money is held, and when you transfer to this person and the person confirms it, the money is released to you. So it's not like you can transfer and the person runs away. If the person runs away, their USDT is being locked on Binance. So if the dispute goes through, you will get your money anyway. You can also see that you've got a 14-minute time limit to make the transaction work. A few things I still try to double check here are by checking the user's profile. So when I click on this person's name, I can see that they are verified and they've got over 3,956 trades, almost 4,000 trades in the past 30 days at a 97.7% completion rate, which is fair. They also have 6,701 feedback, which 99% of is positive. You can also see the average time it takes for this person to pay, which is 4.5 minutes, and his release time is 4.7 minutes, all of which is fair and sort of okay to me. So one thing I also do is that I message the merchant or the seller or whoever I'm trading with to confirm if they're online. I've done a trade where I nearly transferred, but the person's status showed that they were online and the person did not even respond at all throughout the time limit, like 25 minutes or so, and the time limit just ran out. So I always message them before anything. I'll just type, hey, are you online? So for this person, it took around 5 to 6 minutes for the person to reply me. So once I got a confirmation that they were online, I just made a transfer to their normal bank account that was shown. And for the transaction narration, you do not want to put anything like crypto or Binance or anything in there. So then I just message the person that I have sent it with a screenshot of the proof of payment. The seller who is supposed to give me the USDT for the money I've just sent will now release the payment to me. He also has a time limit to release it to me, as we can see here. Now, as you can see, the seller has released the USDT to my wallet, and that's pretty much it about buying, cryptocurrency or any token. I can simply rate this person positive or negative. Of course, I didn't have any issues with this person, so I'll rate them negative. I rate them positive. I'll rate them positive, and that's about it for buying. As you can see in the transfer section of the app, that money is in your wallet. And if you want to use this USDT, for instance, to buy tokens like Bitcoin, which most people do, that's how most people buy Bitcoin, then you can move it to your spot wallet and begin trades. You can see your available balance here, but for now, I'll leave it in my normal P2P wallet. Also, if you're finding this video useful, do consider hitting that like button and leave a comment below if you have any questions at all. If you feel like you're confused in any section, just drop a comment. How about selling? Well, it's pretty much the same process with buying, except now you are the one receiving the transfers to your own bank account, and Binance is holding your own tokens or crypto to release to the person that you want to sell to or that is transferring to you. Just like theirs was held in the buying section that we just covered, ours as well. Okay, so let's just go to the section and we'll click sell. We get the exact same options like the buy page. We can also do express selling, which is what I'll do now instead of picking the buyers or sellers from one by one on a long list. I'll just let Binance pick a random highly rated buyer or seller that is online. Now I want to sell $80 or 80 USDT, which is kind of the same thing. Once I hit sell, I can choose which of my bank account I want the money sent to. Then I click to confirm the sale. As you can see, here, the buyer now has a time limit as well. I usually click on the chat section to see if there's any message for me. And sure enough, this person has asked me that I release the coin once I receive payment, obviously. So I reply with, okay. And I wait to receive the transfer. I have to wait for a while.
A few moments later.
So right now, Binance has told me that this person has marked the order as paid. Keep in mind that the Binance is holding my $80 in escrow, and so until I click that I've received the payment and I click accept, no one is getting anything. And that's what I like about P2P trading, until there's confirmation, until everything is tight and secure. As you can see, I have indeed gotten the payment now, and I'll just need to confirm that I have received the payment. There's also a warning message that says, hey, you should check your bank app, check your available balance, make sure that you have indeed received it, and then you can click to confirm. So I'll just click confirm since I have received it. What Binance does.
So I believe this cycle here is going to be.
Hi, Google, stop the alarm.
The last and final time for you to make life-changing money in the crypto markets. Now, if you've ever lost money in crypto, or you made money but you never ended up selling, this is our year. This is the comeback season. This time around, we're getting ready and we're just getting started. After this upcoming bull run is finished, understand this: crypto regulation will set in further. Majority of Bitcoin will then be held by large institutions who will be able to manipulate and control price action further. And those are just going to be a few reasons why I believe it'll be a lot harder, nearly impossible in the future, for altcoins to do a 10x, 100x, or even 1000x like we'll see this year. So here's what you'll learn today. First, I'll be uncovering the biggest updates and headlines that you need to know about so that you're prepared for the next major catalysts that are coming soon. This year includes the Bitcoin Ethereum ETF approval, and more. Next, I'll share with you why I believe this crypto bull run will be the biggest we've ever seen, and go straight into my personal predictions on how I think the entire run is going to play out. Next, I'll share with you how you can actually make money in this bull market and what the exact steps would look like in order for you to discover those altcoin gems that have major potential, like the 10 or 100x. Last but not least, I'll be covering my personal trading strategy, what I plan to do in order to hit over $1 million in profit, and how I'm going to be executing my entries, and most importantly, what my exit strategy is for this year as well. Now, since the last time I made one of these crypto updates here on the channel, there has been so much that has happened that we need to cover. Now, here are the highlights. First of all, Bitcoin ETFs that got approved have been a success. Now, since the Bitcoin ETF has launched just a little over a month ago, we've now seen an inflow of over $2.1 billion. This here is huge, and this shows that right now we are in a resilient market with a lot of this old money adding Bitcoin onto their balance sheets and adding it into their retirement funds. Even Fidelity, one of the largest financial institutions, is also now allocating spot Bitcoin ETF to their all-in-one conservative ETF. Companies even like Acorn, something I've been using for years, gave me a notification to consider even adding Bitcoin to more of my conservative fund. Next, the Bitcoin halving. This is going to be the biggest event that we've seen in crypto all year long, and it's going to happen in about 2 months from now. Now, the third major update here is with regards to Ethereum, and this is great because it seems like even now Ethereum is picking back up. Well, to make matters even better, Ethereum developers have announced that March 13th is going to be a massive date for Ethereum because of the next big network update called Denkin. This here is going to solve one of the biggest drawbacks in using Ethereum, which is reducing the cost for layer 2 transactions. Now, although that date is going to be important, especially if you're someone who's actively trading Ethereum, I think this date is even more critical. And this is when Ethereum's ETF could get approved, which according to the deadline date that the SEC has filed with Grayscale Investments, it's going to be May 23rd. Now, these dates are so important where if you have anything even over a couple $1,000s in Ethereum, go ahead and put those days into the calendar app on your phone. That way you won't forget about the date coming up and you can take the necessary action to make sure that you take advantage of the volatility that can come around those days. Remember, this happens all the time in crypto where we see buy the rumor, sell the news. And oftentimes, if you are unable to buy in earlier, that could be a day where you could get the pullback you were looking for. Now, if you do have a lot of Ethereum as well, leading up to that date could be a time where you could consider taking some profits too off the table. Now, the real question out of all of this is, well, how likely is Bitcoin going to hit an all-time high? Because if Bitcoin goes up, then all the altcoins will naturally go up too. And this is where we start to experience the effects of the true altcoin season. Now, based on my research, I think it's very likely that Bitcoin is going to break its all-time high soon. And here's why. First, the S&P 500 has been on an absolute monstrous tear. And recently it made another new all-time high. Look, as much as we want crypto and stocks to be separate, there is still heavy correlation where if stocks go up, crypto goes up because naturally money from stocks always flows to crypto. Oftentimes we see more and more investors picking up activity on the stock market side, and then they want to look for something else with larger potential gains. We've seen this happen in countless amount of cycles. And if the S&P 500 and all the stocks continue to ride up and hit new all-time highs over and over again, I'm confident this here is going to fuel the crypto markets even further. Let's also put into perspective that Bitcoin right now is also about $200 billion in market cap away from the previous all-time high. And if we look at the money that even goes into stocks, Meta, just one single stock on one single trading day was able to add over $200 billion this year. It's another reminder too that the crypto markets is still peanuts compared to the traditional capital markets. Now, the fact that we have the ETF and those ETFs are literally bringing all that old wrinkly money, things are priming up to where we could be seeing a new all-time high very soon. Going back into Bitcoin's market cap, right now it's sitting at over $1 trillion. And during the all-time high of when Bitcoin was around $69,000, the market cap then was only at $1.22 trillion. Like I mentioned earlier, we are just $200 billion away from hitting a new all-time high. And with these institutions coming in and accumulating Bitcoin at a rate of $4 to $6 billion a day in new inflows, if we just do some basic math on the principles of economics with supply and demand, here's what we're looking at. So at a pace of gaining $5 billion a day in inflow to Bitcoin, for us to get $200 billion in added market cap, we're just 40 trading days away. Now, say we get less, say those inflows just start slowing down dramatically and we end up getting $2.5 billion instead. Well, this means in 80 days, we would still see Bitcoin's market cap reaching what it reached before, and that's going to reflect on the price action of showing over $69,000. Now, if all things go according to plan, I believe Bitcoin will personally hit a new all-time high right around April 1st. Keep in mind though, things could go crazy at any point, and I am just a random guy in his YouTube studio here making these calls. I got no background in cryptology or astrophysics or nuclear plumbing, just a regular guy here. So just take my predictions with a grain of salt. Now, to touch up on some more bullish news, GBTC's selling pressure on Bitcoin, which heavily impacted Bitcoin's price after those ETFs got approved, is largely over. And not only that, FTX holders are also getting credited back in USD, and most likely we'll see those people buy back into the market immediately once they're able to get their funds. Now, if you combine all of that with the fact that it's all lining up for the date of April, and it's also in April where we have the halving, I don't know, guys. I think it means we really need to prepare soon. This is a rare occurrence where we're having just so many many different dates all line up for the time of April coming up. And if I were to make any huge plays, it would be right now before we actually get the Bitcoin halving event and before we get all of this inflow coming into the market. Now, for the month of April, expect volatility, expect even a potential sell-off. Last year, when Bitcoin hit the all-time high, it crashed for 3 months. And after those 3 months is when it started to trend back up again until hitting the next all-time high once again. If I were to give more specific numbers, I personally see a potential peak at around $70,000 to maybe $74,000 before we see another sell-off. People want to take profits. And it's in that moment, if Bitcoin is able to catch its feet, we could then see the next leg up to over $100,000 to even $200,000. Now, let's take all the reasons I mentioned on why April could be insane, but let's also understand the fact that we're lining up this current bull market with the start of the federal government here in the US deciding to ease its interest rates. Look, when it comes to lowering interest rates here in the States, it's not a matter of if they're going to do it, it's a matter of when. Look, when feds cut interest rates, we get trillions of dollars of new liquidity. And not only that, this here is the simple catalyst that actually pulls up the S&P 500 more than any other factor. Now, something else that's been happening since the start of this year is a lot more layoffs. A lot of the biggest companies in the world have been laying off employees left and right. Now, I don't actually see this as a bad thing. And this is because a lot of these tech companies, when they lay off their employees, usually these employees, if they see a new opportunity, say in crypto while the markets go up, that's where we see even better talent going into this space. It's either that or a lot of employees who end up getting fired take a large severance pay and they look to actually trade that into crypto too. Now, there are theories that retail money really doesn't move the needle much, but from what we've seen in the past with AMC, GameStop, even Dogecoin, PayPay, Shiba Inu, I personally believe that retail actually has a lot of power within this market. But if we combine that with the added fact that right now institutions are buying in more than ever, a $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year really isn't off the table. What we also saw happen in the last bull run was that companies were going manic. They were buying a bunch of Bitcoin because one, they get free marketing, and also it was a way for them to even out their balance sheets. Tesla, Visa, MicroStrategy, Shopify, these were a few of the major companies that were buying Bitcoin. Now, the added difference that I'm seeing this year is that we have even more powerful narratives that existed last year. Recently, we had the whole Apple VR headset come out, and we are going through unprecedented times. I'd say right now, we're literally living in the future. And if you combine that with the last reason here, that a lot of the bad actors were wiped out from the space in the previous cycle, it seems like the odds are in favor of Bitcoin doing better. So knowing all the facts, well, how can you actually capitalize in making as much money on the opportunity at hand? And you can also protect yourself from getting wrecked. Number one, let's pick a narrative. In these videos, I go over a ton of the different narratives, find the one that makes sense to you, and try to just focus on no more than 2 to 3 of them. Look, I've seen a lot of investors make the issue within the crypto markets to wanting to learn everything, whether it's NFTs, long versus short bias, spot leverage trading, or even just striving to understand every single narrative that's coming up. I think you end up overwhelming yourself, and it comes down to that saying, you become a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Now, the next way to win in this bull market, it sounds so simple, but it's a reminder that I know so many people need to hear, and it's that you need to actually enjoy the process. Look, if this bull market ends up lasting for the next 12 to 18 months, it's going to be difficult for you to succeed if every waking moment, none of this is making sense and it's grueling to you, and you're putting yourself through something that you genuinely don't enjoy. I think crypto itself can be really fun. If you're not understanding the NFT market, pull yourself back and look into something even more simple, like just general DeFi or some of the larger layer 1 projects. From here, you got your narratives down, you know what you want to focus on, you're enjoying the niche that you've picked. Well, from here, you want to trade like a robot. We talk about this a lot, but you want to have a plan for each trade and you want to stick to it. A lot of the times I've seen newer investors completely getting wrecked, losing everything because they FOMO, they get emotionally attached to projects. And usually when you're up $1,000, the next thing in most people's minds, okay, well, let me make $10,000, $20,000, and it just goes crazier. So what I mean by trading like a robot, it means you don't get greedy. Think about all the investors in the last bull market that waited too long to sell and then missed their opportunity to double or triple their portfolio. So learn to take profits. I'll go over at the end of this video on my own exit strategy to make this whole thing a lot easier, but there is going to be so much importance for you to learn how to trade like a robot, take emotions out if you're going to enter this market this year. Next important thing is to do your own research. Every single one of you, it doesn't matter if you're going to put $1 million into the market, 1,000, or even just $10, you should all find a way to default on doing research on the projects that you plan to invest in. Look, if that means I'm going to watch a Brian Jung video, I'm going to go through his picks, and then I'm going to look at their tokenomics, that's not bad right there. But there are some people who literally go about the space by just investing into the first project that they see on Twitter or that their buddy Sam from college told them about. Now, last but not least, if you do want to make a lot of money, it is very simple. You do need to get in on narratives early before retail and all the rest of the investors come into the space. Look, right now, I still think we're early. In the last bull market, I remember just the viewership that we were getting, and we're still at a fraction of that. Look, even right now, if I go on Google Trends, I type in crypto to see where we're trending at. We're at a 14. And picture this, in the last bull run when Bitcoin was hitting its all-time high, we were at 100. We're not even halfway there right now. And I'm telling you, from at least all the analytical data that we do here on the YouTube channel, the true retail money, they're not in yet. So now let's go over the top 10 altcoins that can make you at least a 10x. And let me start by telling you this. The list that I have is well over 10 altcoins, and the list that I have can do well over 10x. I bet you by the end of this cycle, we can look back and realize that even a number of these cryptos were able to shoot up 20, 30, 40, or even some of them, if they're able to really get lucky, get to that 100x level. Before I start, let me just tell you, crypto is crazy. It's insane. It's all very risky, very speculative, and most new investors will lose everything. And this is why I encourage every single one of you to always do your due diligence. Now, by the way, to be as transparent as possible in all of these videos, I've gone ahead and listed every single crypto that I've ever bought or had involvement in down below in the description. Obviously, with the channel my size, I'm going to get opportunities of cryptos that want me to buy in on their private sale or be an angel investor. And I want every single one of you guys to know anytime that is the case. Now, by the way, if you're watching other YouTube channels, just be careful because there are multiple channels out here that will go ahead and completely annihilate and obliterate you and getting you to buy in when it starts pumping and they start selling as soon as you guys buy. So if you ever have some weird intuitions, you're like, something don't feel right, trust your gut. Usually, guys, if you feel something's off, chances are it is. Down below in the description, guys, I have a list of all my token holdings and any companies that I'm able to get in early on. You'll be able to see that, like the blockchain, fully transparent and public. All right, so going to the narratives for this year, here's what I think is heating up. First of all, last year we saw NFTs, layer ones, DeFi, and metaverse coins that were all exploding. We had some gaming coins like even Axie Infinity, Sandbox. I mean, there was a handful. Gala Games, they were all having massive pumps. The difference back then is that those games weren't actually that great and people were just more excited for the fact that there was a crypto game coming out and there's a way that you can earn money while playing a video game. Like, it was mind-blowing. But I think in this current season, investors are able to see through that. And right now, the plays that I am personally looking at are the ones that are either VC funded, they actually have a really good concept, or they're ones that are actively still building within the space and their project development.